This episode of Twin Speaks contains spoilers.
Hello and welcome to Twin Speaks First Watch, First Listen of Us, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Elizabeth Moss, and Tim Heidecker, directed and written by Jordan Peele. I am your co-host, Pat. You can find me on Twitter at @kidcombo_, and I am, of course, joined by my twin brother and co-host. You can find him on social media at Antimonium. It's Andrew.
It's Andrew.
I was the smoothest one I've ever done.
Yeah, I was going to say, my name isn't Antimonium anymore, but it still is. I was thinking, like, you can change your PS4, PSN thing. So I was going to change it to Antimonium, but without the E.
Oh, yeah, right.
But then I was like, no, I'm just going to
famously with the E.
on the PSN network, yeah. I was going to change it to Boner Doom.
You talked about that before, too.
Yeah, it's kind of like the one I'm obsessed with, but I feel like they're not going to let me do Boner. Maybe if I do Boner with an E.
There was one I saw, and they had changed it to F, and then / art machine. Fart machine.
What? So if I do B -- owner doom,
yeah, it might work.
Right. B. owner doom.
I actually forgot about that. That was today. People were able to do it.
I
today.
tried to do it like all day today, and it didn't work. So I don't know if it's.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'll do it during this thing.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like it said, I think it was like 5 o'clock. It took effect or something like that.
5 p.m. Oh, okay. I think I'm just gonna keep mine, but until I think of something better.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to like waste it, and then you have to pay for the next one.
Yeah. Apparently, they said, or I'd heard somewhere that Xbox you can do it like a few times.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one time like PSN.
And like not at all up until now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was gonna do Thrill House, and there's like a million Thrill Houses. not even like the cool like Millhouse Thrill House. They're like Thrill House, like thrill and house music.
Yeah, they're just two words that sound cool together.
Yeah, but then not even that.
Yeah, we actually, it's been like a couple weeks since we did the last episode.
Yeah,
I've been sick. You've been in Seattle.
Yep. So
we've actually had excuses.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. We've been not watching movies for a reason.
Well, we finally saw Us because it came out
finally. Oh yeah, I
2
guess
weeks
you're
ago,
right.
I think, right?
I thought it came out Friday, but I was like surprised by how little people were in that theater.
Yeah, totally.
Like just there were so many short people in that theater, like it was really you didn't get it. You're just looking at me. I said I was so surprised at how little people were in that theater.
Okay.
That's not funny. I have to explain it.
That's funny.
It's not though. You didn't laugh.
I was like, wait, short people.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't that many people in the theater when we saw it.
Yeah, because like we even showed up 6:45.
Yeah, when it started.
Yeah. And yeah, like there was seats. Like usually you can't even get that fucking middle section. You have to crane your neck the whole goddamn time. But
yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Well, I just chattered my teeth together.
I wonder if I picked it up.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice ASMR sound.
Yikes. A bunch of people turn insane after listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Yeah. Oh my god.
Ew, why is the dog licking itself?
But yeah, we've got like a bunch of news from the last couple weeks, including
mostly trailers.
Mostly trailers. It's like almost entirely trailers that all seem to come out like in that week.
They all came out in a week there, yeah.
Yeah.
They were like movies that we had talked about.
Yes. And we had talked about like pictures of.
Yeah.
Because we had gotten like posters and stuff. So it was going to be coming out like in that week, and then we just got busy.
Yeah.
But the first one we'll talk about, did you hear about the new Jim Jarmusch, The Dead Don't Die?
Yeah.
His new film, which is in theaters June 14th, and has like an insane amount of famous people in it. So Bill Murray and Adam Driver seem like they're the main
characters. They're like
with
the
like
cops.
Chloe Sevigny. She's the other cop.
Yeah.
And then there's like Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton seems like a crazy bad person or something like that.
Yeah,
like I don't know what.
Like, almost like Kill Bill, because she has like a samurai sword and she's just like cutting people up. And then Steve Buscemi's in this. Danny Glover, Iggy Pop, RZA, Selena Gomez, and Tom Waits.
You don't see a lot of them. I think you see Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
and she's
got,
like
a
with
few
the
lines.
group.
Yeah.
But like outside of that, like you don't really see the rest of them. I was looking at that. I was like, I don't think I saw RZA.
No, he was a zombie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's lame.
and then I think Iggy Pop was also a zombie, and I think Danny Glover might have been too.
No,
but I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I
don't know.
But I remember seeing Steve Buscemi and Tom Waits.
Sweet. Yeah, I remember seeing.
The trailer was great. It was like really.
Somebody told me this
funny.
is a Shaun of the Dead sequel. I was like, it's fucking not. It's not even close. It's not none of the same characters. It's in America.
That's someone who's never seen Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
just
was
connected
like,
the two.
Dead don't die. Shaun of the Dead, right?
Yeah, right.
What? That doesn't. There's no connection there at all.
Yeah, it looks really funny. I think like there's a bunch of lines that Adam Driver has where he has like such low key comedic timing.
He has such great comedic timing.
There's like a bit where he goes. And ghouls. It's like, oh, that's really
in Black Klansman, really funny.
Yeah.
In the F Word,
yeah,
he's like, God damn, I love nachos or pancakes or something like that. And it was nachos, and nachos. And then oh shoot, what's it? Oh, Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Fuck, what's that movie called? It's the heist movie Logan Lucky.
Oh yeah, right.
He's really funny in that,
He's very
too.
funny.
Because he's missing a leg, and he always talks about his missing leg.
Yeah.
He's like, because my leg's missing. That's a line. I think that's a line.
Probably at some point.
I'm allowed to make these types. I'm allowed to say that word because my leg's missing.
Oh no. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm like excited about it. I think it was sort of. I think watching the trailer, you go like, "Oh, I wasn't actually expecting it to look like this,"
no.
but also I love that this is the direction.
I didn't love the aesthetic, to be honest.
Oh, I really liked it. I thought it was so like gritty and goofy and.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to watch it again.
It was totally my thing, but that's June 14th, so it's not that far.
Yeah, it's coming up. I feel like we just heard about this too.
Yeah. Well, we were like, oh, that movie actually did get made. Because remember, we had talked about the cast and like the idea of the movie, and then we weren't sure if it was actually like happening. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, there's a poster.
Yep.
But yeah, keeping on with trailers, we got the first trailer for Joker. Yeah, really cool.
I love that this basically turned out to be exactly what everybody thought it was going to be. Like, it was a character studying on a mentally ill person.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the trailer starts off. Is like him talking to like a therapist, it seems like.
Yeah. Talking about, like, it just like takes you through him doing stand-up. It takes you through him taking care of his mom, like getting beat up. He gets beat up so much in this.
Yeah.
He gets beat up by a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Little bitch. I'm sure they were big kids.
Strong kids.
Strong kids. Kids that just came by from the docks. Just lifting crates.
They were just at martial arts school.
Just lifting crates, doing karate. They're like, we're going to steal this Joker's sign. Oh, Joker's sign. But this trailer is essentially Killing Joke.
Yeah. With
some like ties to younger Wayne too. Like,
yeah. The one thing so I had read one comment that we were sort of talking about before was that there's a scene in the trailer where he's like reaching through a gate and it's Wayne Manor.
Yeah. And so it's supposed to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because the kid that was cast is Bruce Wayne.
Which is so interesting.
Yeah. Well, so like one of the things a podcast I was listening to was talking about this, and they said that the other, like the Batman movie that's coming out is supposed to be like in the 90s. So if this is like 70s, 80s,
it would line up.
It would kind of line up. Like it'd be like late 90s maybe, or maybe this is like late 70s for that to line up.
Yeah.
Then he could be like in his 30s or like late 20s.
I think the tone of the trailer definitely was like, it was weird because it seemed like it wasn't taking itself too seriously, but it was also a very serious movie. You know what I mean? Like it had that
sort of
like, this is a character And we realize that it's like a comic book character, but like also it's a great character.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's like very, like it splits the line type thing.
Yeah.
Like it's right down the middle. Like you're like, okay, this is a goofy, like weird, fucking messed up character, but also like look how like dumb it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like look, you can take this seriously at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing with Joaquin Phoenix. I feel confident that if you go to this movie, it's going to be other things that end up being the issue, not necessarily him.
But you're also going to be like, holy crap, he's a great actor.
Yeah. Also, you see Thomas Wayne. He's on the TV.
Yeah.
As like a politician.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
You hear him laugh.
Yeah.
At one point, he's
really
like sitting.
Fucking weird. Yeah.
You see him sitting in what look. I think it's like a comedy cellar or something.
I think it is. Yeah.
And then he's like in the crowd and he just sort of like cackles to himself. And it was like the way that it was set up. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Like it is sort of.
It seems out of place.
It's goofy, yeah.
But like at the same time, you're like, oh.
Yeah, it was great. It was like perfect. Yeah, I don't know. It looks really good, and it was like I think a lot of people sort of just reading like reactions on Twitter and stuff like that, and then whatever group chats, and it was like people going like, "Oh, this looks good."
This one was definitely more, I think, better received than a lot of people. I think were expecting it to be.
Sure,
like
yeah.
I think it's still like there's still a tinge of people being like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see this trailer and you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I think this also, like, all of a sudden became just on people's radar. You know? Like, people went from not caring or even knowing to being like, oh, that looks actually pretty good. So, yeah. Directed by Todd Phillips, written by Todd Phillips and Scott Silver. You can watch the trailer now, but it's in theaters October 4th. So still a little ways, and we'll probably get a few more trailers by then, but... I don't know if I want to watch too many more of them. It's the same thing with like Godzilla and Us. It's like such a anticipated movie that I almost want to. I mean, I'll probably end up watching them for this, but I do want to go in a little bit more blind than what's going to be revealed in like 4 different trailers.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like really, really excited. It looks really, really good. I think it's actually going to be like a good movie.
I think like this. I don't know if I want to say that, but like I'm excited for it. I'll say that. Like I think I went from like apprehensive to the garbage fire that this is going to be.
Yep.
To now being more like okay,
sure.
Like I'll see this. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. More trailers. We've got the first full trailer for The Lion King.
Yeah, I watched
the new
this morning.
CGI remake. Yeah,
yeah.
It's like the
live
trio
action
of it's like the trio of movies that Disney's is doing right now. Dumbo, this one, and Aladdin.
Yeah.
This one's in theaters July 19th, directed by Jon Favreau. What did you watch?
This one, yeah. I think this one out of the 3 of them, I think will do the best. It has also the best cast.
It's also like
so much better cast.
Looks better, sounds better. I don't know, like everything.
I mean, it's weird though because it's just a remake. It's just it's so different when there's no humans in it, like Dumbo or like Aladdin. This is just a Jungle Book.
Yeah,
but without the kid.
Yeah.
That's still sweet. Like I think it looked great. Like it looks really cool.
Sounded
I love
great.
the hyenas. I love Scar. Like I love all that.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
So that's Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen. It's really fucking weird. At first you're like, holy shit, who's that singing? It's definitely Billy Eichner.
Yeah.
I'm like that wasn't bad. Like
yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't know what I was expecting. It's kind of like I loved it. Like it was great.
There's even like the really famous sort of like sequence of the 3 of them walking through the jungle, and it's like
he's getting older. Yeah.
Like it
looks
awesome.
So great. Yeah.
But yeah, the cast is amazing. It's Donald Glover, Seth Rogen, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Seth Rogen. Oh, I already said that. Billy Eichner, John Caney, John Oliver, Beyonce, and James Earl Jones.
Wait, did you say John who?
John Caney.
Candy? I thought you said John Candy. I was like, what?
Resurrected.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
They just took like a bunch of bits from him like Home Alone and shit
and just spliced them
together.
Yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited about that one. I didn't really care. It wasn't like on my radar at all. I was like,
James Earl Jones sounded amazing.
Yeah, he really did.
Like, it's just weird because, like,
amazingly.
Like, one of the comments I was reading was like, it's crazy to think that he was in, like, Rogue One.
Yeah.
As the voice of Darth Vader, and like so menacing and so like, you know, like powerful, and then this, and it just sounds so like he sounds so delicate and calculated and sounds so smooth, and like he's like up there in age, but he sounded just so great.
Yeah. But
like compare that to the original, and like it is different, but at the same time, like I think it just sounds great.
Yeah, it did sound really good. So yeah, that's coming out July 19th. So not too far
coming
along.
up, yeah.
And then the last little bit trailer that we were going to talk about is Stuber, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, because there was like it got shown at South by Southwest, and then it had a poster, I think 2 weeks ago or something.
Which one was this? Sorry,
Stuber.
Right. Yeah.
But that one's in theaters July 12th, directed by Michael Dowse, starring Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
So,
Stu Uber.
So I read a bunch of like.
It's like Collateral.
Buddy cop movie.
It's like like Collateral, like the Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver. Like it's all like these movies mixed together, but a comedy.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
It felt a little like. It felt like I know what this movie's going to be. Yeah. You know, like you see it and you're like.
And if you watch the trailer, you've probably seen the funny bits.
Yeah, I think like I am approaching this the same that you would approach like, you know, like all of those Judd Apatow comedies that came out, like just 40-Year-Old Virgin and shit like that. Like, I think this just has that feel to it. I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be funny. I think that'll be it. But having said that, like, he's good at picking projects.
Yes. They both
They both are.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't, like, there's, like, a little bit of faith there, I think. And, like, again, this wasn't on my radar at all. So, like.
I watched the trailer, and I think my immediate thought after watching it, like, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, that was dumb. Like, I was like, oh, but that's, like, kind of the point, you know, like, I had read a couple of comments, which are totally like everything off the festival circuit should be taken with a grain of salt about comments and reviews and stuff like that, because there's such like a weird, like heightened excitement about everything, or heightened sense of like negativity in like some certain festivals. So there's a couple of comments that I read that were like, oh, it just felt like a giant ad for Uber.
Weird.
To the entire thing, because they just mention Uber so much. And it's like, well, he's an Uber driver. How many times do they need to say it?
Yeah.
But apparently it's like through the entire movie. It's just constantly
Sorry,
referenced.
what festival was it shown at?
South by Southwest.
Yeah, you're right. Like, that's they just, so many of these festivals, like, they either get like standing ovations or it got booed.
Yeah.
There's no in between. And
I think I saw on Rotten Tomatoes it was like at 60% or something.
Oh, is it like? Oh, I guess.
But it's like 15 reviews.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So the initial release was like a few months ago.
Right.
But that being said, I mean, like, it looked funny, but it just looked kind of dumb. I like the idea of it. I think it's like an original idea, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really
trying to think of what the Lyft one would be.
What's the name?
No, I was like, what's a name that also starts with L, or like the second letters in L?
Lyft.
No, you have to include Lyft.
No, I'm just saying, like, you have to put that in the name.
Clift.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Clift.
Nice.
It's about a guy named Cliff.
Yeah, I got that.
Who's the driver?
Yeah. Okay.
And John Cena is also a cop.
Oh, there you go. Wrote a movie here, Andrew.
Yeah. John Cena's the cop, and he has to convince Cliff, who's played by
Steven Yeun.
No. No. Oh, actually, okay. Yeah, let's do that. No, Dev Patel. No, Steven Yeun. And yeah, he's a cop, and they find a dog, but the dog isn't a pity. It's a Rottweiler.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So Clift.
Clift. Coming to theaters. When was this one out? July 12th? July 11th.
2023.
No, this year. Yeah, that was pretty much it for the trailers.
Side note though, like talking about Dev Patel and Steven Yeun, they would be sweet as Nightwing. Either one of those guys. Yeah. That's true.
Because
I just saw Hotel Mumbai.
They have the body type for it.
And that's exactly, like, you see that movie and you're like, yeah, Dev Patel would be sweet as Nightwing. Nightwing is, like, already sort of like people are going to say he's white. But he is. Ambiguous. He's a little ambiguous. So, like, I feel like you can make that argument, but you don't need to. Like, I think they fit the body type so well.
He's just a black-haired person.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't even say white because he's almost pale.
Yeah. I think Dev Patel was sweet. Anyways, what were you saying?
But speaking of superheroes, Marvel's first Asian superhero movie, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi
was like one of the that original group of characters Marvel like held back.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we'll hold on to these ones.
So now it's rumored, because according to the Canberra Times, they've started shooting in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that's cool.
But the thing is, there was like this. I remember reading a week ago or so. There was like a post. I think it was on Reddit, and someone was like, "Oh, it looks like they're filming in Australia for like a undisclosed Marvel movie," and people were like kind of speculating about it. And someone had said Shang-Chi.
Oh, crazy!
Because like that was sort of the next one that was going to be on the list. And I guess Canberra Times, the local newspaper in Sydney, Australia,
in Canberra,
was like, "Oh yeah, like they've started shooting Shang-Chi."
What's so funny is that like Shang-Chi, like people have just basically like latched onto that. Like I was reading an article today, and they were like, they haven't planned anything beyond Shang-Chi, and I'm like, how do they know this already?
Yeah, I don't know where this came from because there's no other information about it.
No.
It's all.
I don't think it's been like formally announced.
No, and that's what I mean. It's all like these think pieces about people going like, "I think it's Shang-Chi," and it's like, well, based on what?
It'd be sweet if it was though.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. They said that there's no other information about who's writing it, who else is in it.
Yeah,
like who even is playing Shang-Chi. Like, there's nothing. So it's been sort of interesting to follow that right now because Marvel has been super quiet about it or hasn't announced anything purposely. I mean, obviously they're not going to announce anything. It's weird that people keep sort of speculating about it when there is no information whatsoever.
They have a director.
Oh, do they? I didn't see that.
Well, I don't know because like some of these articles aren't exactly like
because there was a lot where they were like could be this person because he's going to be in like Sydney, Australia or Australia. Did you find one?
I'm looking now because like there was one. It was Jakarta Times, and they were like, yeah, this guy's the director." Hollywood Reporter, March 13th. So they have a director. His name's Destin Daniel Cretin.
Cool. Didn't see that one.
But there's no announcement unless it's in this article. But like that's what's so funny is that like you look at some of these and they're like Jakarta Times, like not exactly like award-winning. Like there's nothing on here about like when this is. This is so weird.
Someone did like a keyword search and then found that.
Yeah, exactly. Rumored to be filming in Australia.
But would be really cool to see sort of Marvel's first Asian superhero. I think that'd be really awesome.
And he's cool too. Like that's the thing is he's master kung fu. Like he does have like he doesn't necessarily have like powers.
Yeah,
I don't think he has any.
No, I don't think so. And it's a very
part of these like teams. He's worked with Daredevil. Like
it's a
he's
very
done all
cliche
these cool things.
Kind of character trope too for him just to be like Asian and good at kung fu or good at martial arts.
It is. But at the same time, I think there was a period like early 2000s or like maybe like mid 2000s. A lot of these like Daredevil comics, like some of these more like street level heroes started using him as like the guy type thing. Like they were using him as like the guy they would call like there's a run of Spider-Man where he's helping out Spider-Man and like
and it fits with that sort of.
He also trained Spider-Man too at one point. So it's like a bunch of cool stuff like that. And he trains
Daredevil. Like he's sort of that level of hero where all the other heroes didn't really have powers either.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? Like Bullseye is just really good at throwing stuff. and Daredevil. You know, like you know what I mean? Like it's sort of that level of like the Netflix TV series where Shang-Chi sort of would fit in as well. But other than that, like that's really exciting. I'm excited to see sort of what
Asian representation.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Chinese representation.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on with that.
Also, Marvel's not dumb either. They know that
they know
cast a Chinese actor or in a Chinese related movie and make it somewhat Chinese like sympathetic.
Yeah.
Those movies are gonna blow up.
Oh yeah, totally. The Suicide Squad news. Deadshot, who was originally revealed to be played by Will Smith,
then
Idris Elba, recently announced, is wrong. Idris Elba will be playing a different character in the Suicide Squad, but not Deadshot.
Did you see that picture that James Gunn posted?
No.
It's a John Ostrowser comic.
Wow.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, okay.
Bronze Tiger's in it.
Oh. Okay.
So, like, I said that to you before, but, like, yeah, sweet. If it's Bronze Tiger, that's fucking sick.
So, apparently Deadshot's not going to be in the movie, and then there's only...
That's good.
3 characters who are returning from the original one.
Like, there's 4 now.
Oh, who's the 4th?
Because it's Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Jai Courtney as...
Yeah, Captain Boomerang.
Amanda Waller. So, what's her face? Viola Davis. And then Rick Flag.
Oh, cool.
What's Joel Kinnaman?
Yeah, right.
I saw that he's coming back, too.
I actually liked him.
I did, too. Like, he's, like, not the best writing, but, like, I think he's good. And, like, one of the things I had read, too, was, like, the perspective of the audience should be through him.
Yes.
Because so much of that movie is about how wild this stuff is. And he's supposed to be like the non-meta human, like the military dude who's controlling everybody. He should be the eyes. Like, he should be... Anyways, if they end up doing this,
it'd be fucking sick. Like, I'm glad that they basically, like, cherry-picked all the best parts.
Yeah. That's really cool. So that would be really awesome if it was Idris Elba playing Bronze Tiger. He sort of fits that pretty well.
Bronze Tiger's so sick.
Yeah, Bronze Tiger's cool.
So I'm looking now, like, powers and abilities. He doesn't have any powers, which
fits with, like, the thing, but also, like, a master martial artist who's got all these, like, sick other, like, different martial arts. But he's the guy that's supposed to, like, be on a level with Batman as far as, like, fighting.
Who's that? Bronze Tiger?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He also used to wear, like, a tiger, not like a mask. I think he was, like, his head was a tiger or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, it was really fucking weird.
He used to look really cool.
He used to have like a tiger head and he had like
claws and shit. He was an Arrow and he was so dumb looking. This is a dude in a leather jacket who had like Wolverine claws.
Oh.
That didn't come out of his hands. He just wore them. So they were like brass knuckles, but they were tiger claws.
That's lame.
Yeah, like it's sort of like, well, how can we make like Wolverine look like a Halloween costume? Give him a leather jacket. Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, we need something else.
Give him sick hair and a beard.
Okay, but...
How about a tiger mask? No, that's too far. We spent all the money on the leather jacket.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of neat. I don't know. I'm sort of getting more excited about it.
I am too, like the more and more stuff.
I'm a little like... I'm still so apprehensive. And it's so far away.
So far away.
So, yeah, moving on. David J. Peterson, who made the Dothraki and the Valyrian languages for Game of Thrones, has joined Dune to build and develop the languages of that world.
Yeah, sick. That's so sick.
So there's a whole bunch of languages. I was kind of looking them up, and there's like a bunch. There's one that's sort of presented as English, which is like the main language.
Right.
So I'm assuming that they're just going to keep that as English. But then there's like a whole bunch of other languages. But there's like a quote from him, and he said, quote, "I asked the studio before the interview, especially because it seemed like every day you're jumping on Twitter and, oh, this person's working on Dune." And I'm like, can I say I'm working on Dune? And they said, yeah, you can say you're working on Dune, but you can't say what you're doing. And so like he had hinted that he's like working on more stuff. Like he's working on more than one thing that's on the for the movie. And people were like, well, his background's in languages, so that would make sense because they have lots of languages.
That. Okay.
But he had been hired, so like that was announced, but then they were like, well, you can't tell them what you're doing. And they're like, well, everybody knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. They're just going to put the two together.
But that's really cool because
like, oh, he's it's a stunt guy.
that stuff from Game of Thrones is really great. And he's done season 8, so.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Longtime partners Will Ferrell and Adam McKay have mutually decided to branch out separately and refocus their creative efforts.
It's because the last movie they got like 0%.
Yeah. What was that one?
Shit. Sherlock.
Holmes and
Holmes and Watson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No shit. That's like such a good decision, and like, I mean, this isn't working anymore. And also, we're both pretty old now.
People are just saying that Adam McKay is just gonna do more
directorial stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Shazam sequel is in the works already, with Henry Yaden returning as a script writer and David F. Sandberg and Peter Safran also expected to return.
So they're all returning, which is good. I could see this being very similar to like Ant-Man and the Wasp, where they just like very similar like construction,
but kind of get weirder.
Yeah, maybe. And just maybe like copy and paste it into there because like it had such a low budget that it was really refreshing to see them in a real set and do all this stuff that like no shit that they got a sequel.
Yep. I think that's like super safe, super
smart. Yep.
But the writer
maybe they'll just use like the secret cameo, spoiler alert, but like maybe the secret cameo would just be like Batman's junk. Like just like waist down of Batman.
Yeah, right.
Instead of like
him falling
chest
and
down.
Up.
You just don't see his face though. Yeah, I see it.
But the writer Henry Yaden is also adapting something called The Last Human, which is a live action science fiction film from Phil Lord and Chris Miller based on the forthcoming novel of the same name by Lee Bacon. I've never heard of it either, but he's apparently writing the script based on the book.
Cool.
And Chris Miller and Phil Lord are going to be doing it.
Directing, or they wrote it?
Directing it. So he's writing the script for them.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool.
The film is described as a reverse E.T. and tells the story of an artificial intelligence society where 3 robots discover a human child.
Cool.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
That's very Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Really?
That seems like kind of wacky enough for them.
If you said that, but you were like, it's animated.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, all right. And also the clouds are spaghetti.
Wreck-It Ralph director Rich Moore has left Disney for Sony Pictures Animation.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was like, oh, yeah, he's going to be doing the same stuff over there.
Probably just making more money.
Dave Bautista to star in new Zack Snyder directed film Army of the Dead.
Oh, sick. I didn't see that. Okay, cool.
So
it sounds like he's going back to doing all this like zombie shit.
Smaller scale,
after
maybe.
All the shit that he was saying. Like, I wrote a series of tweets about him when he's like, if you don't believe X, then you need to wake the fuck up or something like that. There were so many of them.
But this one's an adventure is set to... Oh, this is what the thing says. It says, the adventure is set amid a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, during which a man assembles a group of mercenaries to take the ultimate gamble, venturing into a quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. So it's a heist movie during a zombie apocalypse.
Cool.
It sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, weird.
But that's very like Zack Snyder. I think that's
just the zombie aspect. I think, yeah.
That could be really neat, though. Yeah. And then last bit of news, Ralph Fiennes is set to play a demented chef in a horror comedy called The Menu, directed by Alexander Payne, who did the Descendants, Election, and Downsizing. The Menu is about a young couple getting a chance to go in an exclusive restaurant on an island where a twisted chef, who is played by Ralph Fiennes, presents them with a fancy tasting menu and some quote-unquote shocking surprises.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, that was like all the comments were like,
that's all I can think of.
It's like humans.
It's going to be humans. They're going to be cooking humans.
But it's being produced by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay.
Oh.
Which is funny.
Yeah, weird.
And someone else.
So you just said that they were breaking up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That sounds cool.
It sounds. It's neat to but you're like, it's humans.
Ralph Fiennes doing like
it's humans, or it's like, I don't know. What's more shocking than being a cannibal? he's managed to. The island is actually Jurassic Park, and you're eating dinosaurs.
Okay, should we talk about the movie now?
Sure.
Okay, so Us, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Elizabeth Moss, Tim Heidecker, directed and written by Jordan Peele. It is a movie about a family's serene beach vacation that turns to chaos when their doppelgangers appear and begin to terrorize them. So the thing with that is, I didn't realize that the doppelgangers
applied to everybody.
I didn't realize it applied to everybody, and that was such a cool twist right from the bat. It was like, oh, everybody has
twist, and I think like we talked about this before, is maybe that was because we didn't watch any of the trailers.
Yes.
Like I don't know if that was.
I might
included,
go back and watch them now,
and just to see how much was given away. But I feel like that was a surprise. Like seeing, like when they show Heidecker's house and Elizabeth Moss' house, and
they're just
like
inside the house
they just
already.
die.
Yeah,
And it's very like, whoa, what the fuck? Like they kind of allude to it, but like,
yeah. I guess we'll have to go back because we were very specific about not watching any more trailers. We only watched the
very
one.
intentional about it.
And I think that was perfect because I
was so surprised by like so much of this.
I enjoyed it way more.
I didn't realize that Winston Duke's character didn't die.
Yep.
Like I thought that he was going to die.
First trailer made it seem like he dies.
Yeah.
And he doesn't die. He's through the entire movie.
Yeah, which is sick.
Which is great because I actually really
like him too. Like, but Lupita Nyong'o steals this fucking movie.
Yes.
Like she, within the first, I guess it's not the first 10 minutes or so because it's from the kid's perspective, but like the first chunk where you see her, you're like, she's doing nothing. And I'm just like,
I cannot look away.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't know what it is, but she's convincing me that something's wrong.
Yep.
And she's not saying anything. And like she even makes a point of saying that she's not saying anything.
Yeah. There's a moment where she's super nervous about like them, and she's trying to convince Winston Duke for them to leave the next day. And the entire scene, she's staring out the window, and you don't see her face at all.
No.
And that freaked me out. And
you don't see her face.
Oh my god, this is so.
But then she sits on the bed.
Yeah.
And she's like staring past him while he's talking, and then there's a scene where she like snaps her look like back at him, and it's really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is happening here? And then it kind of like everything kicks off, but like really weird. You're kind of like, what the hell? Like, what's she doing? She's having like a little episode, and then you realize, oh shit. Like,
yeah, she was like realizing what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you want to do this? Because the acting. Let's start with the acting. Acting from everybody
really
was
great.
fantastic.
The kids blew me away. Like
Yeah,
you're
kids
sort of
were
like
great.
surprised by like not surprised by kid actors now, but like I think the age of the boy Jason kind of threw me off because you're like he's pretty young, but like just working with kids all the time, you're like that's exactly how like he would act like a little shit. Like he was, and that's exactly what he was doing.
He was like that through the entire thing. He was just like antagonistic and just a little brat, but also like he obviously had the bond with his mom.
Yeah.
Through the entire thing, they were very close. So, and that sort of like motivated her through the entire movie.
Yeah.
She was very much motivated by trying to figure out what was going on, but also trying to protect just her kids. Like, there was a bunch of times where she was like standing in between them and the doppelgangers, and like, but like the two kids were just great, except for the only ones that I didn't like were the two actual twins.
Yeah, I thought they were like, but
kind of crappy.
I think because they need to be twin actors.
Yeah,
like, you're like okay, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, they were fine.
Yeah, they were like
they were also terrifying. The shadows of them were terrifying
because they were like
they were just screaming.
They were almost like gymnasts. They were like jumping off of stuff and sprinting around and stuff. Oh yeah, that was like really freaky. But Tim Heidecker and Elizabeth Moss, I think
Tim Heidecker's like shadow was so funny.
Yeah, and he was really funny too. He was very like just Tim Heidecker being funny, and
he's just being goofy. Like he was waving his arms around, being very sort of like 1950s like. Or maybe even earlier, that like silent movie comedy, like it was really funny. But Elizabeth Moss, you were like, "Oh, I just forget that she's like a good actor."
Yeah, there was like a couple scenes where you're like, holy crap, like they really let her
do a
act.
thing.
Yeah, like
she doesn't have like a ton of scenes, but like
But the ones that she was in were great. Like there was like the bit where she was putting on lip gloss, I think, at one point.
Lip gloss, and then she like stabs herself too at one point, or like cuts her face, and you're like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, that was really.
But it was like a long shot. Like it was just like a one shot of her doing that.
Yep.
And you sort of like, well, what the fuck?
I think all the acting was really, really great.
Really great.
All the voiceover stuff, like her interacting with her doppelganger, like the voice that she had for the doppelganger was really creepy and very consistent. I was like really happy with how consistent.
Or
it
even
was.
when she tries to clear her throat at the very beginning too.
Yeah.
And you're like just convinced more that like it's a weird thing that she's doing or has to do. But like jumping ahead, and we kind of talked about this before, is that none of the other shadows can talk.
Yes. And
one of the things that, like, the big twist is that, like, she got switched.
Yeah.
So she's actually, like, Lupita Nyong'o is the shadow of...
And she realizes that right at the end.
Yeah. She sort of has, like, a flashback. Like, it's been suppressed type thing. And, like, that makes sense why the other one can talk and the other ones can't.
Yeah.
And it makes sense why she led the revolution. She's the one that sort of organized everything because she's the only one that could talk. Like,
she was the only one able to actually communicate.
Yeah.
Which is funny because, like, even, like, the bit where she switches them, her shadow, like chops her neck. So I think almost, like, because of how her voice was doing that, it was because it was, like, damaged. Because like in that clip, she kind of just goes wham right into her neck.
No, she chokes her.
Yeah, but like how she does it.
Oh,
she, like,
I see. Yeah.
Slams her.
Actually, I didn't think
together.
about that. That's true. That might just like legitimately damaged her.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking it was. And she like slams her hands against her neck, and then like that's why she's kind of like almost growling through the entire thing. Like she's able to talk, but it's like very much a
I loved. Sorry, just like continuing on. I loved the. Like where this was all set.
Yeah.
I love the houses that they were in. I love that the boat stuff wasn't too much because I feel like it could really get into like a horror movie trope there.
Yeah.
I love that a lot of this took place in daylight.
Yeah, almost.
It's like a big chunk of it, like the third of the
pretty
movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is like something that doesn't happen very often.
Not in horror movies, no.
And like maybe that's another thing is that I don't know if this is a horror movie.
We had talked about this.
It's a lot like Get Out, where it's like very much a thriller. Like intense. It just like is intense the entire time. You get real sweaty watching this movie. Same with Get Out. But like you don't necessarily see a lot of the gore. You see the blood, and there's a lot of it, but like you don't necessarily see anything happen.
No, and I think that's what the movie has so much in its favor is like they have the pair of scissors. Like almost everybody has a pair of scissors, and like I think only maybe one time you actually see someone get stabbed, or a few times I guess, but more so it's the sound that the scissors make. Yeah, like they make the sound of just opening the scissors. Like it's like the metal on metal. Like you can tell how sharp it is, and you can tell how heavy it is. Yeah, that I think they did such a great job because you kept just going like. Oh man, I really don't want that to touch anybody because that is gonna
I will not want to be stabbed by that.
Yeah, and they did that through the entire movie, and it was like very much like building the suspense of just from the sound, just from like them holding it and making the sound of opening and closing it, just added to it so much. Oh yeah, totally. It's very much a
the
thriller.
Suspense of it, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd say because like there was even bits where I was like, I don't know if I felt scared to the movie, but I was just enjoying it so much. Like it was a movie that I really did just have a great time watching.
I think what I like too is that like the score adds so much to this movie. Not necessarily the cold open, but like the slow zoom out of the
opening credits. Yeah,
the opening credits is so good, and something that's not done on a lot of movies now, but like maybe was like. Like I just watched Reservoir Dogs, and there's like a scene where it's just credits, and they're just walking. And it's a lot like that, where it's just a slow zoom. The credits are great. The font, like you said it before, is the font's great. The color is great. Everything about that is so great, and like the song they use is kind of like spooky at first.
Yeah.
But then so much stuff gets added to it that you're like, oh hell yeah, this is sick.
It slaps.
Yeah,
like, it's so good. But yeah, that opening credits it's amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But it's very retro. It's very and I kind of said as soon as we got out of the movie, because we went together, is that it reminded me a lot of The Shining.
Oh yeah.
I think there was a lot of like and obviously like he's sort of such a. I actually forgot to tell you this, but I listened to a podcast from 2017 or 2016. And it was You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes and Andy Samberg. And Andy Samberg was talking about Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key and like their love of horror movies.
Oh,
and he was just talking about like how they're like massive students of the genre and just love the genre so much. And when they make fun of it, it's because like they're doing it out of admiration and love, and they just notice all of this stuff, and they're like constantly talking about it and stuff. And so, like, almost having that in the back of my mind and then seeing this movie and then seeing, like, little bits where you go, like, oh, that actually reminds me of The Shining.
Yeah. A lot of it is homage.
Even, like, it's very much, it's not definitely not stealing. It's very much made in the image of something, you know? It, like, the idea of them going away to, like, this little cabin out in the wood, you know, it's, like, kind of reminds me of The Shining where they go out to that hotel. It's a hotel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
know, and then just, like, the aesthetic of sort of that basement area where she goes, where the doppelgangers are, that really gave me the same sort of feeling.
Yeah.
There's just like a few other bits, but like it made me like it more.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It definitely wasn't a negative. It was just something really cool.
Yeah.
I'd seen on Twitter that someone had posted that the way that one of the twins dies, the way that she's laying on the ground is the exact same way that the other twins in The Shining died.
Oh, weird.
And that he like lined them up perfectly.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he was like, oh yeah, like great catch. There's tons more.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
So it'd be cool to like go through and like check out all the Easter eggs and stuff. But
I saw like there was an article that I was reading before this, and like it was him talking about like theories.
Yeah.
And like, cause he did like a Wired like Reddit theories. And he went through a bunch, and it was like well after that movie came out, and he was going through some of them, but he wouldn't like divulge anything. Like he wanted to keep them sort of fresh as his movie's coming out. But there was like some I was reading about the sun maybe being switched.
Oh.
And that's why like that last scene where he's kind of like staring at her type thing. Like I think either he like met his double like early on and like was switched and is suspicious of it in her, or like he just knows or something like that, you know, like you don't know. But like it, because he so intentionally puts that mask down on things that like it just seems so like
he could hide it so well.
Yeah. No, I think he just like he puts the mask down on things that like scare him.
Oh, I see.
That like frighten him. So like I think he puts it down, you're sort of like he knows something.
Yeah.
One of the other ones I was reading is that she's the only one that did the experiment on with the souls, because she makes that mention about like the soul being torn in two.
Yeah.
And like one half is given to the shadow, one half is giving up above. But it seems like she's the only one, like after she kills her double, that she like reabsorbs the soul. Like she makes a very intentional because none of the other ones do. Because
there's like the bit where she does it and then she starts like making the
weird noises. The other one. But like, and that's the other thing, is that when she goes and kills things, she gets very like primal about it, and those sounds come out. Did you say that yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
But like, yeah, one of the things I was reading was that the theory was that like she is sort of like the prototype on the soul part.
Interesting.
And that's why she doesn't mirror, like, so Winston Duke's character, like you can see the character mirror him at one point.
Yeah.
With the glasses.
Yeah.
And the runner, I don't know if you see it very much, but like obviously the kid is like
they even do it when they're in that closet. They do it a little bit, and then at the end where the kid
kills him. Yeah. So like, but she doesn't get mirrored or mirrored the kid.
Yeah.
Or her shadow, which is like interesting too.
That is interesting. Like they don't do it at all through the entire thing.
No.
I don't know what else. Like you said, the soundtrack is really great. It just adds to it so much.
I feel like we could do an entire episode on like
the twist.
The twist. Well, I saw the twist coming. I wasn't that surprised by it. Like you can kind of like it felt like very. I don't know. I'm not disappointed by it. I think another podcast that I listened to was talking about this movie, and they said that like this compared to another movie with all these like twists and stuff, you're sort of more lenient with this stuff. Not necessarily like suspending disbelief, but you sort of just like let more slide because so much more makes sense. Mm-hmm. But there's like little things in this where you sort of go like, how did they get those? Or where did that come from type stuff. But for me, like the twist was so very like, yeah, of course that's what happened.
Yeah, right.
You know, like there's little hints through the entire thing. Like she does make the noises, or she seems to be the only one like realizes this is what's happening and stuff like that. And before it even happens, and part of those memories maybe clearly like coming through, and she just like realizes the 11/11 stuff, and you know, like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily make it bad. Like I think it was almost like satisfying. You were like, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I clued in. I guess that makes more sense now that you're talking about it, but because I didn't really see it coming, because I think I was thrown off that they show us, you know, like when the little girl goes into the House of Mirrors area and then the other girl turns around, that's like the extent of that's all we know that their interaction is, because then then she tells us that she's like, then I ran away as fast as I could.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So when they show it at the end and they're like, oh, she actually got taken, then switch. I was like, oh, well, you told us one other thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what I was
like some of that stuff
by.
doesn't line up. Like
that's what I was annoyed by. I was like, okay, well, if you didn't show me that other thing, this would be easier to swallow.
And you're just gonna tell us that you like.
But you're just gonna be like, hey, I actually lied.
And I like couldn't remember that stuff. But then when they do the flashback, the kid's like clearly smiling about it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of it changes. Like her dancing, it's like her dancing because, you know, that's what the other girl did.
Yeah.
She was kind of shitty at it, and that's why she stopped. And it's like, well, okay, but you didn't show us that before.
Yeah.
You can't change it now in retrospect.
I know. Yeah, anyways.
That's sort of what annoyed me.
Yeah, but that stuff. But yeah, we could do an entire episode on like theories and on the twist and soundtrack and shit. But
so what would you give it then?
I'd say 6 out of 7. I liked it a lot. I don't really like this type of genre, but like I did like it a lot. I think despite some of the stuff that like inconsistencies that you kind of just like let through, and like I don't know why it's okay for this movie to be okay, but like it just is. And yeah, I think 6 out of 7.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the idea of the movie, like whether I didn't think it was that on the nose. I think it was very.
Yeah, a lot of this movie had me guessing.
Yeah, and I think it was the subtlety of it too was really interesting, and the message of the movie and the ideas that he had, and I think it all came across really well.
Yeah.
It's just like the ending was like I was just I think expecting something else.
Yeah, me too.
Not so much disappointed, but yeah, I'd say like 6 out of 7.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was is there anything else?
That's it for me.
First watch, first listen of Us. Directed and written by Jordan Peele. Catch us next week. We'll probably do Hellboy next.
Yeah.
That's getting... We didn't really talk about that, actually.
No. Well, we're going to have to save it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll try and get Avengers Endgame after that.
It's going to be a busy next couple weeks.
Busy next couple weeks. I'm excited.
What did we talk about? We talked about Avengers
doing
theories,
a speculation one.
Speculation.
Yeah. I think Georgia wants to do that one, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for listening. You can catch us on @TwinSpeaksPod on Instagram. I'm @KidCombo_ on Twitter.
I'm still at Andemonium.
That's right. But yeah, get at us. Bye.
Bye.